So today we've got some pretty sad news coming out of New York. I was asking for some topics from people about things that you guys might want to hear about, and my girlfriend's mom actually suggested me a story about Peanut the Squirrel, and I had not heard of Peanut the Squirrel beforehand, so I went to do some digging and discovered that the state of New York is currently my number one opponent, or up, as the kids would say nowadays. So, by the way, full credit to the information of this video to Moist Critical. I'm going to link his video, or I'll put it right here. Make sure you go watch his as well. Peanut the Squirrel, our good friend, unfortunately was seized and put to death by the state of New York. He has received the death penalty apparently because people thought he had rabies. So after doing some digging, what I saw, and from what I've watched in videos and whatnot, is apparently this guy, he had this pet squirrel named Peanut the Squirrel, big, social media squirrel. He had the squirrel in New York City, and people, or someone complained, anonymous complaints, that he had the squirrel and there was rabies going unchecked. They went to go get his pet squirrel and his pet raccoon, I believe named Fred? Both animals were seized and unfortunately put to death.
I was just going through my daily routine of feeding all of our 71 rescue horses at our nonprofit animal rescue. Midway through that, a line of DEC officers, about 6 to 8 of them, showed up and gave me a warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon.
The reason why they put them to death is, from what I read in an article, is that the squirrel bit someone and they were afraid it had rabies, so they killed it to see if it really did have rabies. So yes, the State Department of Environmental Conservation, they took the animals Wednesday of the day I'm recording this, so last Wednesday, put the date here. It is illegal to own wild animals in New York, I guess, without a permit. I'm sure most states, but specifically in New York, as we're talking about for this video. And our unfortunate owner of these two pets was in the process of getting a permit for these two animals. And in that process, these animals were stripped away from him and euthanized. And I honestly just don't see what the point was. I don't really understand what you're thinking of is a man trying to get a permit for his two animals. You take them and they're like, oh, well, we know what to do, boys. Let's do our country proud and kill some wild animals. Do the complete opposite of what our job is intended to do. The, environmental conservation turned into the environmental desecration, killing, innocent animals. What was even more sad is the guy that owned it, he took both of these animals originally to take care of them and nurse them back to health after both of them had arrived to him in an injured state, and his plan was to eventually release them into the wild. Your original plan to just put them back in the wild where they belong, having that set in motion, and then having our literal government mandated environmental, not the EPA, not the protection agency, but your conservation agency come in and say, let's just take their lives instead. I just don't understand the thought process behind that. I don't see where the state of New York is coming from in this case, and honestly, it's just disgusting and disappointing from all sides of the aggressors in this case, the Department of Environmental Conservation. Interestingly enough, Elon Musk, of all people, responded to this incident with a few tweets, reading which, government overreach, kidnapped an orphan squirrel and executed him. And he shows a picture of the article that I actually got some of my news from as well. And he also posted a Star Wars meme to it, saying, if you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Peanut Kenobi, with an AI-generated image of, that doesn't even look like a squirrel. It just looks like a deer or like a cat. It's kind of scary, actually. But yeah, honestly, this is just a sad situation that did not need to end the way it did. There were so many different steps that could have been taken. These animals could have easily just been contained in some way or held until the guy got his permits for the animals. Like, there's just so many different ways this could have been approached. But, I mean, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments about this whole situation, which is honestly, it's just sad. It's really disappointing. And we will miss the beloved Peanut and Fred the raccoon. Both are just sad, pointless deaths that did not need to happen. But I mean, that's really all I got for you guys.